Listen, before we get into this episode, I want to explain something. So I posted a diagram on Instagram, on my personal page on Instagram, and basically I'm gonna put it like right here or something like that so you can see it. And it said God, purpose, marriage, health, family, then wealth. The idea behind that is that I'm also learning that, because this episode that you're getting ready to listen to is totally outside of this context. And I'm learning also with God, as God has given me insight for people, that he also gives me insight for myself. When I wrote that was actually about me. And he was just telling me that as I give you purpose sits outside of your responsibilities underneath here. It's still very important, but it's on the outside of this. So that doesn't sit above your marriage. It doesn't sit above your family. It doesn't sit above your health. It doesn't sit above you as a person. It doesn't sit above that. It sits on the side of that. It's as important because it's God-given, but it doesn't sit above. And you should never, ever get it confused that your purpose outweighs your marriage, that it comes before your marriage, that it comes before your kids, that it comes before your health, and that there's a drop down that goes to wealth. And basically what he's saying is that as you follow purpose, you follow your God-given purpose, it creates wealth for you through your purpose. And so this next episode is going to break down how you create wealth. But that middle part, that was for me. That was for me. It was God's reminder to me. I'm going to do a part 2 on this episode, just explaining purpose and family and how to really operate within it. As I learn it, as I go through this process, I'm going to explain in deeper detail of what it looks like, how it works, what it means, so that other people can get an understanding that your purpose is not more important than your marriage. Your purpose is not more important than your children. It doesn't come before them. And that we all, as we build our family, as we create order within our house, we understand purpose. And that, but it's not more important. But I want you guys to enjoy this episode, and we'll talk about that on part 2. Enjoy this episode. Peace. Whoa. What are you doing? Don't go nowhere. Listen, you didn't made it to this point already. Go ahead and just do your boy a favor. Go ahead and like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you want to grow within your business, you want to grow within yourself, you want to grow with your family and your relationships, and more importantly, your relationship with God, this is the place you need to be. We become a family. Hit the subscribe button. Let's enjoy the journey. Enjoy this episode. What's going on, everyone? I want to welcome you back to another episode of Focusing on the Soul of the Entrepreneur. I am your host, Ralph Walker. And first off, I'm just glad you came to sit with me and hear from me. I know I call every episode a special episode, but this is special too. And we're gonna dive into the thought of purpose. And we're gonna take a drive down this path to actually understand what is purpose, how do we find purpose, and how do we get to purpose. Let's start here. I want you to first to understand that you have a gift and you have purpose. Okay? Your gift and your purpose, they have the same function, but operate separately and simultaneously. Okay, let me go ahead and break that down. I know I just went wild already. Your gift is what pays you, but your purpose is what directs you back to God. Your purpose is what you give, is how you give back to his people that are here. And a lot of times our gifts, we don't necessarily always run into our purpose head on until our gifts are refined. I'm gonna give you an example, like the real Tarzan, right? Just because it has nothing to do with church. And I know a lot of people will be like, well, am I supposed to be up preaching or something? No, not at all. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm gonna take the real Tarzan for an example. If I could look at the real Tarzan, some would say that his purpose is being with animals and being able to communicate with animals and do the things that he does with animals. But I would say that's his gift. His gift is his ability to connect with animals. His gift It's his ability to feel what animals feel and wanting to put them in a safe space. Now his purpose is to show us and teach us what it's like to take care of an animal. Is to show us and to show us the connection he has with nature. That's the purpose. The purpose is giving back to us, because he can go do that in private and no one would know, and he will fulfill himself. The gift of being able, and he can have a regular job and just taking care of the animals that he has, but his gift makes room for him as he follows in purpose. So in his purpose, he's displaying to us what his gift is. And that also communicates back to God that I'm thankful for the gift that you've given me. Now I'm going to show this to the world so that people can understand what the things that you've created, which are the animals, what they go through. And I can display it to the world. And you can use me to be that person in that vessel to do that. And because of that, God expands his territory, expands his fame, creates followers and engagement, and that which allows him to get paid. So a lot of times people have gifts but never use it within purpose. And because of that, you never really expand your territory. So I'm gonna just keep digging on deeper into this, because it takes me back to this story that I stick with for a long time. It's Matthew 25:15. It's dealing with the talents again. I know I've spoke about this before, but this goes back into more and more detail of exactly what I'm saying and how we hide our gifts that keeps us away from purpose. And so when that one person with the talent being the gift, also being valued, because back in the day, during that time, talent was gold. So his value, he took his value and hid it in the ground. And he never went to the marketplace to actually go and invest his talent, invest his gift, work on his gift, let people know who he is, do the things that he's called to do, because he was afraid. And a lot of times it's the same thing. We don't get to purpose because we haven't even exposed our gifts yet, because we're worried about what people are going to think about us. We're worried about how people are going to accept our gifts into the marketplace. But the beauty of it is that the longer you hold on to your gift, the more you hide your gift, the further and further you keep yourself away from purpose. And so your gift is what gets you paid. It sustains you. Your purpose doesn't pay you. That's what I mean by your gift and your purpose. They operate separately and simultaneously at the same time. Like, for example, this podcast doesn't pay me. And the podcast will never pay me itself, or my purpose within this podcast will never pay me, but the gift of being able to public speak will pay me. And so the purpose of this is being able to touch people and being able to get people to see different things and get them thinking about their relationship with God. That's purpose. That's purpose. That's straight purpose. And you guys are getting actually a front row seat as I actually accept and walk into purpose with this, because my I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell you my vision for myself. My gift is business. I'm really, really good at business. It just comes super, super natural to me. I don't work hard at it. I think about it, and then I just apply these things, and God has allowed me to refine it and get better with it over time, and have done some really, really incredible things. Have I hit $1 million? Absolutely. Do I still got it? No. I'm working back towards it though. And and have I made other people millionaires? Absolutely. The thing about my gift is that I want to take my gift and just go, like I used to talk to my wife about this all the time. Like, I really just want to be the guy in the corner, and that the person on stage or whomever, I want to be the guy, if you know, you know. So, I just want to, I don't care about being on social media like that. I don't care about followers. I don't care about fame. I just want my money in quietness and in peace and going about my business. But God's like, no. You're not getting away like that. You're not getting away like that. And he's giving me opportunities to make good money and create a life. And he's like, no, man, you have to see purpose within this. And this is the thing too. I got called to ministry when I was 17 years old. I accepted, I became a minister, and that space was a real tricky space for me because I didn't care for the notoriety. I didn't care for the title. Like even in my businesses, like I never even called myself CEO, owner, unless it mattered. Like if it got me into something, sure. But I never rocked with it. Even like on my business card, I would call myself lead creative engineer. I didn't put owner of the LLC like a lot of people do. Because I don't care. That doesn't matter to me. What I care about is the development of the actual business itself. I care about customer service. I care about all those things. And I don't care about fame. But purpose, what God has for me, doesn't allow me to just be in my own quiet space. What God desires for me to do doesn't require me, or it doesn't allow me to just sit off in the corner and be the guy. If you know, you know. I don't get that luxury. And so as I'm doing this podcast and actually this is also refining another gift for me in public speaking. So I'm very conscious of what's happening. And actually I just realized it this morning. God has said to me a couple weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, he has said, this is just a stepping ground for where I want to take you to. Don't care about the likes, don't care about the comments, don't care about anything. This is just training ground for where I really want you to be. And this morning I was in the garage and clear as day, just said, this is training you for another gift inside this purpose. Because I've already know what's getting ready to happen with business. He's already shown me that vision of what's going to happen with business, and I'm settled with that, and I'm okay with that, and I'm just working and developing these businesses because I already know what's going to happen with them in the future. And the position of this purpose is of now we're inside this new place I'm in. I'm not getting paid to do this. So I'm literally just developing a new gift within this purpose and being able to public speak and being able to articulate myself in front of a camera, in front of an audience, wherever it may be. I just pray that you don't make me no pastor. I can't do the pastor thing because that's a whole nother thing. Lord, please don't. And he's not. Because I already know. I know exactly where I'm going. But the beauty about this is that I'm not taking my gift for granted. And that's what you do because of fear. And it all boils down to fear. Oh, it's too many people in the market doing this already. But they don't have you. They don't have the version of you. There's a lot of people with podcasts already, but they don't have this podcast. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with wherever God takes this. Why? Because I'm being obedient within purpose. I know for a fact there's people being affected by this already. Why? Because people call me, people DM me and say, man, this was beautiful. I needed that. And that lets me know falling into purpose is where I'm at. And this is the front row seat at seeing me in this space. And as confusing as it be sometime, like I was in the gym a few weeks ago and I asked God, actually right before my last episode of Scarcity, the reason why I got back to podcasting and why I'm doing this, I'm getting back to consistently recording now, is because I was in the gym and I said, God, if you want me to do this podcast thing, send me a sign. And I'm not a sign person, but I was really testing God. I was really like, send me a sign. And my wife is the sign person. She's like, God, send me a sign, and he gives her a sign all the time and blows her mind. But I'm not the sign God. So I was like, you know what? Send me a sign. And 15 minutes later, I got a phone call from a guy that I talk to all the time. And he said, "Hey man, I just thought about something, man. Have you, what you doing with the podcast?" And I just busted out laughing on the phone because I just couldn't believe he just asked me that. I talk to you every day. Like, you haven't asked me that in months. Like, and then later on that day, I was just DMing one of my friends and I said, "Hey man, what do you think about this?" And then he called me, or I called him. And then he was like, "Hey man, how's the podcast going?" I said, "Oh my God." I said, "Okay, all right, God. I got the sign. And then I get a phone call later on that day from somebody else who I haven't talked to in almost a year. And he says, "Hey man, you was putting out some content a few months ago. I haven't seen any of it lately, but it was really helping me. And I want to talk to you and I want to sit down with you and I want you to kind of walk me through some things that's been going on through my head." And I was just like, "Oh my God, that is amazing. That's amazing." And I would just blown back like, "God, okay, God, I got it. I get it, my man. I get it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, but not only am I going to do it, but I'm going to walk it and treat it like how I treat my business, how I'm always tweaking, how I'm always invested, how I'm always learning, how I'm always trying to read on something, how I'm always trying to make something better. How can I make this better? How can I expand what you want me to do within this?" And I take the proceeds from my gift, which is in business, and I invest it into this purpose because I know that as I invest in this, in which God has told me to do, He has no choice but to expand me over there. That's how much faith I have in what you've told me to do. And that's where we miss it. We miss it with God, is that we don't have enough faith to believe what He told us to do from the get-go. That we got stuck in the gift and we got stuck in the job and we got stuck there making that good money and got comfortable. God never let me get comfortable making money. He never let me get comfortable. Every time, and this is I've said this time and time again, and it's just becoming so much more and more clear to me as to why. But me and Ashley always call it the on and off rich. I mean, I gave you an example. We made $1 million a year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I didn't waste the money. Look, man, I don't have Gucci and gold. You don't see me iced out. We did do some stuff to our home. And we ended up selling our home and coming to Atlanta. But the business itself just started collapsing into where I had to sell it. I had to get rid of it, and then even with RWD, which is Ralph Walker Designs, was my web design company. It still operates. It still goes. It'd be months where I made $100,000 in a month, and then I didn't do it again. It didn't repeat itself. But that I love that business because it created residual income. So I'm just always getting paid from that business. But I had to get out of that business, and I'm actually we have about 100 clients on that business, and I'm down to like 60. I'm actually transitioning clients off of there and moving them to their own servers because God has told me, "Hey, I want you doing that and this. Get rid of that." So I said, okay. So I've been literally removing people off that server and placing them on their own hosting spaces. Yeah, that's $100,000 a year just in residual income that I'm getting rid of. But He's expanding C4 Gang Truck in a way that, one, is allowing other people to make six figures or more, but then it's also allowing us to make some good money within the industry as well, and make a really big impact in that industry. And that's why I'm so excited about that. But that's a whole other thing. But because I'm allowing myself to be fully invested into this purpose, God has no other choice but to expand my territory. It's the same thing He did within the talents. Inside Matthew 25:15 is that when each person that He gave talents to, which was one, gift, also talent, gift, and then also in that day, gold, value. So each person that He gave value to, He told them to take that value, go into the marketplace, invest it, bring it back to me, and I'll expand your territory. And so we can't get afraid or fall into fear of not investing in ourselves, because that one person who only had one, he kept looking at it like, man, this isn't enough. This isn't really value. There's no real purpose within this. But don't despise small beginnings. Never despise small beginnings. That's where the fruit is at. That's where the real desire gets created. That's where the teaching ground is at. If we all started with 100 million, what good would it be getting to 200 million? Like it wouldn't matter. But us starting at the beginning, starting small. This is where God shapes. This is where God molds. This is like I said, this is where God is making me refine my ability to go out into the marketplace and speak the way I'm speaking. This is where the confidence is being built up. This is where he assures, like, dude, if I give you this, you got to bring it back to me because you said you're with me. Now, if I ain't claiming God, okay, cool. But I claim God to be my help. I claim Jesus to be my savior. I claim him to be my provider. So when I go into the marketplace and I take this gift, I expect God to expand it. Why? Because I'm falling into purpose of what he's expecting of me. I'm not afraid to be at the beginning of something. I'm not afraid to be at this bottom level of where I'm at. Why? Because we can just see up. We got all this opportunity to go on up. God, show me. God, give me the insight. Give me the wisdom. God, give me guidance. Give me understanding of what it is that you want me to do. I know for a fact you didn't put me out here just to do this alone. I know for a fact that you didn't call me to do this and just do this alone. No, he hasn't. You know why? Because he's given provision. He has provision around every vision that he's giving you. But you got to trust the provision. You have to trust the insight that you're getting. You have to trust what you're hearing so that you can move. And this is I'm talking to me too. This is what this podcast is. I'm trusting God to do what he say he's going to do with what he's given me. I call myself the bootstrap king. And basically what bootstrap means is that you take your own money and you invest into your businesses and you watch it grow and you get all the proceeds back to you, versus you taking seed money or you're calling in from other things, you're borrowing money, whatever you're doing, using credit cards or anything like that. I go with what I have and I build from there. And so it's the same thing with this. Like, God is like, dude, tie you at the bootstraps. I just tie yourself up at the bootstraps and just go. I'm going to give you more and more as you go. Start little. You don't have to chew off the big old piece. You don't know enough yet. You don't understand enough yet. Be okay with that. And that as you go, you're going to get more and more insight. I say this too because, I'm on this weight loss journey. And I started off at about 300 pounds. I'm at 264 pounds now. And a guy had told me, he said, listen, man, for every pound that you lose, I'm going to give you more and more insight as to what I want you to do. And I said, okay. This is back in September last year. And I said, okay, cool. All right. I'm one of those like blindly obedient people. Sometimes just like I don't ask any more questions. I just say okay. Because I that's how much I trust God. I didn't see him do some really amazing things in my life, and I'd be foolish to sit here and be like, well, what you gonna show me? Just do it. Just do it. He's gonna take your little and do a lot with it. So as I'm losing this weight, God's showing me, he's like, look, I want you to do this. I want you to create a podcast. And I'm like, oh. So this goes back to the Matthew 25, that person with the one talent. I'm the guy with the one talent at this point. And he's like, I want you to go do this podcast. And I'm like, oh man, it's not nothing wrong with the podcast I did. Now I'm just like, for what? Like, I don't want to be stretched too far. I'm trying to build this business. I got this going on. And I actually had a job for an app I was going to do for the DMC hospital for $80,000. And we were in development. We were still in negotiations for the app, and they were for sure going with me because I do a lot of work for them with my design company. So it wasn't like it was a matter of if they were going to go with me or not. It was more so just like tweaking and figuring out exactly what we're going to do. And we were supposed to meet back up in like November-ish, and we get started and we had a meeting in September of last year or August of last year. And then we were supposed to meet back up in November, I think it was. And October, God had told me to start losing the weight. So I said, okay. I got down like 20 pounds, and he gave me this insight he started just downloading all this content to me, these ideas, and it just started flowing and flowing and flowing and flowing and flowing. And I had no idea what I was doing with it. I was just writing it down. And then he told me to start a podcast. And he said, these are all different titles of every episode. I got at least 100 episodes titles already written down, and just different insight and just notes and notes and notes and notes of it all. And as I got closer and closer to the idea of the podcast, I started getting like, what? Like, we can't do something else? Like podcasts. Like, everyone's already doing a podcast. And then the other part is the idea of a podcast wasn't supposed to start now. Like, I want to start here we go again. My vision of doing a podcast or any type of level of public speaking is after I done made all my millions. After I done all the work business-wise, after I made all my accomplishment, then I said, that's when I said I'll go back and start doing that. So it was so funny when he told me to do it now, so now I'm feeling insecure now, because I'm like, I haven't done it. I haven't done all that stuff yet. I haven't hit all those goals yet. I haven't made the money yet. How are they going to believe me? And he clearly said to me, he said, this wasn't about you being the advice king. This was about the journey of them seeing you develop into someone else. Okay, here we are. This is why it's called the focus on the soul of the entrepreneur, because there's so many different things that I've gone through as an entrepreneur that I started to understand that our souls get left behind because we're so focused on business. We're so focused on hitting goals. We're so focused on doing stuff for our families and that we really kind of leave out ourselves for real. And then on top of that, we separate ourselves from just regular person in the business. God's like, no. I want you to combine me in your whole world. I want you to involve me in your whole world. I don't want you to just pray about the business. I want to be a part about the business. I want to have a seat at the table of your decision making. That's where I want you to be. That's where I want to be. That's where I want you to put me. And that's why we're here. Is because I'm not burying this gift. I'm not burying this gift to despise my purpose, to push back my purpose. I'm here because God told me to do this. Regardless of my insecurities, regardless of the vulnerable spaces I'm in, regardless of how much of my business I'm letting out, I'm here and I'm fully accepting my purpose and my calling within this. So whoever gets affected and changed by it, that's who I'm talking to. At this point, don't allow your gift to work for you so that you can be able to take it and find purpose through it. What God is requiring me isn't much. He's like, listen, as when I fully accepted being back into this podcasting, he's like, look, all I'm asking is just for one day out of the 7 days that you work, out of the 7 days that you work on the business, out of the 7 days, I'm just asking that you give me 1 day of your time to just focus on what I want to say. It's like the tithe. He says, all I want is 1/10 of it. I don't want the whole thing. I'm not asking you to quit your job. I want to make that clear too, is that God is not asking you to quit your job. He doesn't want you to get rid of your gift. He don't want you to get rid of the gift that pays you, that allows you to invest in this, in your purpose. He doesn't want that. He just wants some of that time. He just wants a bit of the investment to come back in, because the more and more you invest, the more and more space I have to expand you. And the thing is this, God never wants you to give from an empty vessel. He wants your cup to overflow. So when he wants you to flow in purpose, it's because your cup is full. Your cup is full enough. It may not be a big cup of what you're thinking. It may be a small cup, and he wants you to spill from that small cup. And as you spill, as you pour from that empty cup, he gives you more to continue to pour. And then as you do that, he's going to expand your cup. Now you're in a real vessel. Now you're in a vase, and now you can be filled up with more. And so that's how God expands your territory in that space. Man, I'm so excited for where he's going to take this because of my consistency and because my belief and because of my purpose within this. I'm giving and I'm pouring back. I'm pouring out so that he can pour back in. The less I pour, the less he gives for me to pour. Because there's no reason to fill my cup up if I'm not going to pour anything. And a lot of us are stuck in that space because we're wondering why, God, why aren't you moving? Well, because you're not moving. Give so you can be given unto. Even with this podcast, he had told me, he said, look, go take care of the purpose and I'll take care of the business. And I said, okay. So there's times I'm sitting there editing videos, but I'm seeing more and more people book. And I'm seeing my game truck in South Carolina get booked, which makes me extremely happy. Because that lets me know that the vision that you've given me is real. It works. And not only is it work for me, but it's working for other people. And to hear them call me like, hey, we need to send out an invoice. Can you send those tutorials back over to us so we can look at the invoicing system? I said, okay. It just puts a smile on my heart because now I'm seeing other people with C4, which all it is the name of my kids. It's the first letter of all my kids' name. All my kids begin with a C. Their name is Callie, Cohen, Carter, and Connor. They all begin with a C. And that's why it's called C4. And to see our name being pushed into a different state and operate under a different state, in a different state with our name on it is like mind-boggling to me. With the vision that I created, and now that it's making them have cash flow. It's like, but again, that came after I accepted it back in October, that God gave me them. They sent them to me. It wasn't a struggle. I didn't really sell to them or anything. God was like, here's a token for your obedience. I didn't look at it like that then because I just got rid of, I didn't accept the $80,000 app, but then he gave me this product. This opportunity with this family to help them build with some wealth. Man, I can't make this stuff up. I cannot. And I'm just very, very sure of the place and the position that he has me in. And that I'm pretty sure he's calling you too, because I ain't no more special than anyone else. We all have purpose. We all have a gift. And some of our gifts may be within our businesses that we work in. But that doesn't mean you don't have purpose because you're not an entrepreneur. You definitely have purpose. You have value. The way that you make money is your gift. Take your gift, let it mold you, and to find your purpose. Let your gift take you into purpose. This is what I want. I want to challenge every business owner or anyone who has a job to understand your gift is to make room for you. Your gift is to lead you to purpose. Your gift and your purpose operate separately. And simultaneously, you don't get rid of your gift, just go into purpose. You might end up broke because purpose don't always pay you, but your gift does. Even like some people are like, well, what about preachers? Well, the gift is public speaking. Their purpose is to lead people back to God. It's to save souls. You can do that all day for free. The gift is what pays them. The gift is what allows them to travel for speaking engagements and writing books and all the other things that they are in, whether some of them are business owners. That's the gift. The purpose is to lead people back to God. The purpose doesn't pay you. The gift does. Let me tell you how to recognize purpose. Everyone's purpose is to help others, and God will expand you once you are truly trusted with the vision. Your purpose is to find out how you're going to help others through your gift or with your gift. If you're not helping people, if you're not doing God's work with your purpose, it's not purpose. God's work is not in the church. It's not just in the church. Let me say it like that. It's not just in the church. It's not just in four walls. It's outside. It's these podcasts. It's these opportunities. It's you being you and you allowing yourself to help others. That's purpose. Purpose is free. When you're helping others, that's free. But your gift allows you to afford to help others. They operate separately and simultaneously. Purpose makes you fulfilled. Purpose gives you something to look forward to. Purpose makes you feel whole. When you're operating in purpose, you're like, okay, this feels good. Get the money if it feels good at times. It does. I'm not saying like making money, it does feel good. But if you're not doing anything with it, you're just there. It gets old. But when you start helping people, you start making a difference with people, that never gets old. Seeing people change because of your purpose, and you're flowing in your purpose, and you're making time to fulfill purpose, that never gets old. God gave me something this morning. I'm gonna just read it off because it was really, really good, and I couldn't just like let it go away. So the reason for which something is done or created, that's what purpose is. The reason for which something is done or created. Why do you exist is the question. Why do you exist? What am I going to do to help people? God, show me exactly what it is and how you want me to help people. Maybe he wants you to help yourself right now. Maybe you're not in a space right now. And it takes a bit of honesty too. Maybe you're not in a space to help anybody else right now. Maybe you're in a space where you're legit trying to figure you out. And that's okay too. That's okay. Like I said, God is never going to make you pour from an empty cup. Get filled. Get filled first. And then figure out how you're going to start pouring it in other places so God can expand your territory. You find your purpose through your gift. Your gift is what comes natural to you. The very thing that you have no problem working on, tweaking, making better. That's your gift. Your gift is what just naturally, it's just natural to you. I don't want to say talent because everybody think you got to be a singer or basketball player or something like that. No, your gift is what just naturally comes to you. Just what naturally comes to you. If you're a talker, if you're a comedian, if I don't know, so many people have so many different crazy gifts. Like, find your gift, refine your gift, tweak your gift so that you can expand and be able to help others, teach others. Give to others. It's a thing that everyone can see. That's a purpose. That's your gift. It's a thing that everyone can see and know is valuable. But it takes a very special person to see purpose in you. Sometimes but that's the outshining of your gift. Sometimes also forecasts your purpose sometimes. But it takes special people. It takes a special person to be able to see your actual purpose. Purpose has to be worked out, guided, and most importantly, understood by the one who holds it. Purpose prospers you, but it doesn't pay you. Purpose is obligation. It's your burden. The more you operate in purpose, the more your gift pays you. And I want to just take the time and just say thank you again for allowing me to walk in my purpose. I see my purpose. I feel it. I'm walking in it. This is it. I don't know where it's going to take me. I don't know how far it's going to go. But I do know that as long as people are being helped, people are being changed. I'm being changed. I'm operating in purpose. That people are seeing God through this. I'm operating in purpose. Purpose is very simple. Gift is very simple. It is a very simple understanding thing. Gift is a very, very simple thing to understand. And purpose is very, very simple to understand. Your gift pays you and what allows you to operate in your purpose. Purpose doesn't pay you. Gift does. Purpose leads people back to God in some facet, whether you're helping them and whether people see God through you because you're helping and you're doing what you're called to do. But I know we use the word called and obligations and burdens and all those words, but that's just how heavy it is when it comes to purpose. That's how heavy it is. I don't want you to get it confused about church and other things. It's only about you and where God has called you to be and what God wants you to do. You know it, you feel it, you're just scared. Even with your gift, some people are just at the gift spot of really recognizing their gift, recognizing their value. And you're burying it. Dig that thing up. Look at it. Wipe the dirt off of it. Refine it and operate in your gift so it can lead you to purpose. This is Focusing on the Soul of the Entrepreneur. I'm your host, Ralph Walker.